Good morning. So today I wanted to create a short video to help parents and students understand a little bit of how teachers are able to use Aspen. This might help you find some things a little bit easier and understand why certain things show up the way they do in Aspen. So the first thing we're going to want to do is you're going to want to log on to Aspen, and the address for logging on to Aspen is right up here, that yorksis.ycsd.york.va.us. And that is how you can get into Aspen from outside the division. One thing it's important to remember, we as teachers do not have your information for how to get onto Aspen. If you scroll down on the page, there's room to log in. It's sort of down here. We would have to turn you over to our guidance department, and they will probably have to contact information technology to figure out that information. So try and remember what that is, because we unfortunately cannot help you. So you've logged on. This is a page from a high schooler's log-on page. There's a couple things that before you do anything else need to get done. The first thing you need to do has instructions up here. So students and parents all have to add your classes every year. I don't know why. It seems like something that should be done automatically, but it isn't. So you will click on Page Directory right on the left-hand window. And then when you do that, all of the classes your child is enrolled in should pop up. And go ahead and click Add for all of them, even if they're ones that are not until second semester later on in the year, because you'll probably forget how to do that by then. So go ahead, add all of the classes, and that way you will be able to get to all of the teachers' class pages. And then when you close out of that, you'll be able to click on classes, and there will be a window, and you'll see it drop down where you can select the teacher's pages for all of your child's different classes. This page is the home page that you always see, and it is that Pages tab. The other things you can see on this page are that there will be some assignments listed here, and then any recent grades put in here, but this is really not the best place to look for that. I would really have you go somewhere else to look for all of that information, but this is really good for finding your teacher's class pages. And so this is an example of a class page for algebra, and if we look at this class page, there's some interesting things on here. First, you've got your class information, which includes attendance and then overall averages. I'll show you in a little bit how to get more information about grades. But teachers will also put up explanations, study guides, syllabus on their class pages. So it's pretty important to know how to get there. When teachers say, it's on my Aspen page, this is what they mean, not the grade book, but this page right here. So over here, we have now clicked up top on academics. And this is the page where you can find more detailed information from the gradebook. So when you click on academics, you will see, this is very early in the year, so there are no grades in this gradebook, but you'll be able to see over here the running average for all of these classes. And so you can see their overall average. That would be, if that was the end of the interim, that would be what is on the interim. But you can see that information in even more detail if you click on one of the classes. So let's pretend that we clicked on algebra again. And so on this page you can see averages. So over here we can see that the homework, classwork, and notebook is weighted 20%, and then if a grade had been put in, they would be averaged here. This is blank because no grades have been put in yet. Again, these pictures were taken, you can see down here, during the first week of school, so there really wasn't anything to grade yet. If you click on assignments over here, you can view every single individual grade, which is wonderful. On those pages, you can see what your child has turned in, what they haven't turned in, all that information. One thing I do want to point out, there are different codes that the teachers put into the grade books that show up a little bit differently on your end than they do on our end. So if a teacher puts in an asterisk or an X, that means exempt. those items are not included in the calculation, so it does not count for them, it does not count against them. And if you look, there's going to be a little tab where it says missing. Those assignments will not be missing either. And so it says it's exempt from calculations. When I use that information, I use it for if a student is absent and I don't expect them to make up that assignment. The other big one is no credit or zero, and this is what really hurts kids. This is what we put in when they haven't turned this assignment in. And most teachers will have a late policy that lets them earn back some of that credit. Mine, if it's a homework assignment, they can bring it up to a 50, and if it's a classwork or another assignment, I do that on a case-by-case basis. Usually, if they turn in that classwork late, I'll give them credit. And then also, if a teacher leaves something blank, and this sometimes happens when we haven't put the grades in yet, or I do this if a student is absent and I do expect them to turn that assignment in. It does not count against them, but by the end of the quarter, we have to remove all those blanks and put something in. So there are a lot of teachers, or not a lot, but there are several teachers who will leave something blank for a while, but as it gets towards the end of the quarter and it still isn't turned in, that will get changed to a 0, and no one wants that to happen. So it's important to understand what those calculations do to a student's grade. And again, if you ever have problems, you can always contact an teacher with those questions. The last tab that I wanted to talk about is the calendar tab. Right up at the top, if you click there, there's a couple things that I want to point out to you. So when a teacher puts an assignment into the gradebook, it automatically shows up on this calendar. And that means that some teachers don't put in things as early as we'd like because it automatically shows up in our gradebook. And that's just a little bit trying. But you'll see there are some assignments for this child listed. Safety's got a test at the end of the month. Safety quiz next week. But if we look at these assignments, you'll notice that, I guess I'm hoping these are Spanish because I have no idea what they're saying, but these are a little bit lighter on Tuesday and Wednesday, and then they got darker on Thursday. So these assignments were given on the 6th, and then they're due on the 8th. So in some cases, it might be better just to not look at the lighter assignments and only look at the darker assignments, just because those are the dates when those assignments are due. Teachers have the option when we assign something to send it as assigned earlier, which I think is good for you as parents to have that information of when that assignment was given out, but it's not so great in that it'll show up every single day beforehand, which can make this calendar view a little bit more cluttered and difficult to find information on. That's one of the reasons why I really encourage students to use their agendas. And I will be talking about that a little bit more next time on the next video. I hope you have a wonderful day. Please let me know if you have any questions about Aspen and how to find information or what certain things mean. Have a great day. Bye.